Today we're here to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that's old General Motors trucks. Specifically, we're going to talk about a 1934 Chevrolet pickup built in Terrytown, New York, and sent to North Dakota in 1934. This truck was part of the CCC camp at Turtle River State Park in the 1930s. My predecessor, Russell Reed, he purchased it. It was titled to the State Historical Society of North Dakota, and it went to Fort Abraham Lincoln State Park for service there until the 1950s. The State Parks was a division of the State Historical Society until about the 1960s. After the 1960s, the two organizations separated and became North Dakota State Parks, and we remained the State Historical Society of North Dakota. The truck was retained by the State Historical Society, and it entered into our collections as a piece of the agency history, which is why it's in our museum collection today. And this truck is a pretty fantastic old survivor. You can see that it has not been refinished. It had an inline 6-cylinder engine. It had 206 cubic inch displacement and about 60 horsepower. The heat has been disconnected, but the heater on this truck would have been something that you had to pay extra for. They were notorious for having sort of low oil pressure and low circulation. So when people restore these, they often do all kinds of things to get a little bit better oil circulation in the motor. This truck was built back when horses and wagons still shared the roads with power vehicles. So if you wanted to get the attention of your fellow road travelers, you would use the auga horn here to alert people of your presence. The auga horns are kind of called that because they make that auga sound. The intake manifold consists of the 1-barrel Carter carburetor, an oil bath, air intake. The exhaust manifold also carries the exhaust gases away from the engine, but also supplies a little bit of a heat source to the air to heat the air up as it goes into the engine. Unlike modern vehicles that have alternators, this had a 6-volt generator powering the electronics in this truck. The hand crank for this truck is an auxiliary starter. If the starter or the battery didn't go, is right through that hole. It goes into a hole in the harmonic balancer that has a special fitting that you would put the crank in and give the truck a crank, and it would then start. The windshield opens out, so from the inside you could kick the bottom of the windshield out a few inches, and then there's a cowl vent up here that opens a little bit, and this vent you could crank open, which would pipe air coming in below the dash down by the gear shifter. This truck has a dash cluster that's instantly recognizable to the drivers of modern vehicles. It's got 3 gauges with all of your instrumentation in it. So you've got your fuel gauge here, your oil pressure gauge here, speedometer with the mileage on it. This truck has about 22,000 miles on it. And your throttle cable here so that you could putt around at low gear without having to have your foot on the gas. It appears the key for this truck is broke off in the ignition, so to start it, they've just been turning that with some sort of a blunt instrument like a screwdriver or something. This truck has 2 different kinds of wheels on it, but these ones in the rear are really fascinating. These are called artillery wheels. General Motors actually used these on trucks up until the 1940s. They're highly sought after today because of how cool they are, and they're just a neat old wheel that we don't see every day now. This truck is 90 years old. It's a real survivor. It lived in North Dakota before there was a lot of the modern conveniences like expressways and paved roads that we have today.